Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this program, I am going to dive back into the First Testament of the Illuminati, this time doing the section, The Future of This Planet. My commentary on it will be at the end.
The future of this planet. The age of war swiftly nears its end, as did the bronze, iron, medieval, and modern. Soon the age of Illuminatium will begin. You are among the first of your species to see its light and heed the sound of its approach. The next age is filled with ideas and advancements never before seen and hardly imagined by even the brightest minds of your civilization. In a future society in which war is obsolete, the human species will be freed to develop to its fullest potential. Technological advancements have permeated the timeline of the human species at sporadic times. Recent years have shown a rapid increase in the proliferation of ideas, a sign that humanity is nearing a stage of evolution previously undiscovered. For decades, the Illuminati has withheld major technological discoveries and hindered the development of ideas that are key to your future. These have no place in an age of war. Knowledge goes to the highest bidder, and warriors use knowledge to create weapons. But all will change. Soon the technology we have reserved will be made available. Wires are an arcane method of transmitting energy and communication. They reside in the physical form, and like all physical things, they decompose and deteriorate. They require resources to establish and more resources to maintain, creating an imbalance of power. Those who build the wires and the tunnels and the towers that carry them control the energy and communication of everyone who walks above and below. Even your leaders are powerless when faced with those who own the wires that carry their commands. In a short time, your scientists will discover an energy source hidden in the air of your planet that has gone undetected for the entirety of your species. This discovery will send a tremor through societies that are built upon the need to survive. When energy and communication are easily available to all and in unlimited supply, the world can function without the need for one country to invade another simply to fill the need of its people. New methods of food and water production have been experimented and proven successful. Free-flowing energy allows for devices to perfect the conditions of the plants and creatures to their utmost performance, leaving nothing to waste and creating plenty for all without the need for harmful chemicals. Devices to alter the weather of this planet have already been developed. When every space of your planet can be atmospherically altered to maintain the highest quality of life, there will be room for all people to live and thrive. Wastelands will become paradises, allowing for every human to occupy miles of the planet and for the nurturing of crops where nothing has grown before. The earliest developments in digitally printed materials have already begun in your societies. As these technologies advance, homes will be constructed in minutes instead of months, and new limbs or organs will be grown to repair or replace those that are faulty. Tiring work can be done by advanced machines that need no rest. Without the need for labor, humans will dedicate their minds to the collective advancement of their species. These times approach, but have not yet arrived. Humans are creatures who have not yet mastered their impulses. The instinct to harm another of its own kind is one that the human species is never born with, but only learns from those around it. War is a liar who claims there isn't enough land, isn't enough wealth, isn't enough food for all people in all places to live in abundance. The planet you live upon is the same rock that will carry life into the greatness promised by the future. Humans choose to remain in the age of war because they know no different than to fight and kill for their survival in an eternal competition for resources required to remain alive. Value is created in scarcity. Diamonds are only cherished because of their rarity, as are food and water in impoverished societies. If diamonds rained from the sky instead of water drops, they would be worthless. But in the age of Illuminatium, no scarcity of energy, food or water, or anything that a human requires to thrive. There will be no need for hoarding or stealing. Country lines and allegiances and borders will become obsolete. The urge for war will be eradicated. These new circumstances will usher in a world where all may be wealthy and coexist in peace of abundance, while your leaders turn their focus to the true advancement of your species as a whole. Fear not for your war-stricken, poverty-ridden planet. Do not quarrel amongst yourselves over trivial political or religious labels and names. These will vanish and bear no influence in the coming age. Strive instead for the betterment of your world in preparation for what is to come and for your purpose in the universal design. Fear nothing that lies ahead, nor the bursting sounds that echo across your red horizons. This is the sign that help is on the way.
If this section has any truth to it at all, this does explain where the open borders policy, and I'd even say the defunding the police agenda, is coming from. The opening line struck me as so absurd when I first read it that I was going to completely ignore this section as utterly unrealistic. The only section I am strongly considering ignoring is called How to Join the Illuminati. You can let me know in the comments section of my YouTube video or my Facebook page or the Occult Think Tank Facebook page if you want me to cover this section. The line, "The age of war swiftly nears its end," made me think that I was stepping into Fantasyland, as we are far from seeing an end to war. Equally absurd is the line, "War is a liar who claims there isn't enough land, isn't enough wealth, isn't enough food for all people in all places to live in abundance." This is pure bullshit, as war is not a person, but an action taken by people. War also isn't really about people that need land, food, or wealth. In fact, war is the result of religious or political ideas or ideals. It isn't driven by a need for the basics of survival, but a desire to control or dominate others through force. It can be driven by a desire for resources, but this is really secondary to the control incentive. Let's also not overlook the biggest incentive for war and conflict in our world, and that is greed. It is not about people needing food in order to survive, but just sheer greed. There are people that will want to hoard and take as much as they can. Not that they need it, but because it's an aspect of control, or like we saw with the aspect of the beginning of the pandemic, some people will try and hoard things like toilet paper in order to go on eBay and sell it, to try and make a profit off of other people not having. So this is all about greed. This is not about there being enough for everybody. You first have to address people's basically being an asshole and being a greedy fucker before you can have the aspect of everybody having all they need. The age of war can never end until we see a massive change in the mindset of the people on this planet. Oh, I do feel there are a lot of people that want to see a peaceful aspect of society. The problem is many of them want that peace to be with their boot on your neck. Given in chapter 1, they said,
freedom is an idol of the human species.
Anyone that thinks freedom is an idol isn't someone that looks to protect your freedom, but rather seeks to find ways to take it away. The claim,
in a short time your scientists will discover an energy source hidden in the air of your planet that has gone undetected for the entirety of your species.
I am calling bullshit on this because of how it is worded.
Hidden in the air of your planet.
I find it truly bizarre that they have the air of your planet and not the atmosphere, given the air is the atmosphere and is made up of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.93% argon, 0.04% carbon dioxide, with trace amounts of neon, helium, methane, krypton, and hydrogen, as well as water vapor. As a side note, carbon dioxide is what the climate change chicken littles want to claim is going to destroy life on Earth. Yet carbon dioxide is what plants take in, and it is only at 0.04% of the gases in the atmosphere. Compare that to Venus, which carbon dioxide makes up 96% of its atmosphere. However, what I am more concerned about being in the air is the 5G that is being pushed, given scientists are not sure it is safe. Yet Verizon is all in on its push of 5G phones. I'll do a dive into the scientists' issue with 5G and that rabbit hole in a future video. The only kind of free-flowing energy I ever heard of was from a Tesla coil. However, the blueprints for that were never explored as a power source. I've seen a few videos on Tesla coils that had been made, but nothing about this has ever been mentioned in the media, which honestly doesn't shock me. While the idea of weather modification has been around since the 70s through HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, however, this is another conspiracy theory rabbit hole that I'll explore in a future video or podcast. While this idea of digitally printing organs is something I don't believe we are at yet, this carries with it ethical issues, as some regard this as playing God. Although, as I have said, that these assholes appear to have a God complex. The idea of replacing a limb with a machine limb is something I'd say only somebody that has lost a limb could say if they would actually want. I've heard about people having artificial hearts that are essentially a machine, and that is something I'm not entirely opposed to, especially if it would be like in the case of somebody that would need a kidney, instead of being on a long waiting list, that we could simply create a mechanical kidney to do the job of a kidney so that a person wouldn't have to be on dialysis. I can see the benefits of that, but I also am concerned with introducing that level of technology into the human body, because what I think of is, isn't that turning us into the Borg? And just how far will that rabbit hole go? These are things that I'll look into for a future video, but I would love to hear your thoughts regarding the aspect of artificial limbs or mechanical organs. Do you think it's a viable alternative? Do you think it's something we should engage in, or should we ignore it and not pursue technology of this nature? Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.